So the ITPGR-FA, which is international treaty that is supposed to allow for somewhat seamless sharing of genetic resources, even as it's an international treaty that also talks about farmers' rights, it's become a tool at this point of time for unlimited and irresponsible as well as opaque access to these plant genetic resources across national boundaries. And such access is obviously being permitted for big corporations. And there's really no acknowledgement or benefit sharing that's happening with the farmers whose germplasm or whose genetic resources are being accessed under the treaty. If we have to talk about farmers actually getting their dues, getting their rights and entitlements, I think at the international level, something like ITPGR-FA will not actually do it for farmers. We've got to start talking about the UN declaration on the rights of peasants and rural peoples as the main tool. But the problem has been that UNDROP is something that's not legally binding, whereas treaties like ITPGR-FA have been made into legally binding international agreements. We've got to reverse this picture. Even on international trade, we've seen in the past that WTO is legally binding, whereas several environment related treaties, for instance, have not been made into binding treaties. Until we reverse some of these things at the international level, we are not going to be able to stop these tools from being exploited mainly by corporate lobbies rather than people benefiting.
Can you give example how the farmers are not benefited?
Well, the fact that there's no data in the public domain of who's accessed what, under what conditions, and what have they put back into the gene fund. It's very clear that everything is being hidden under behind a wall of opacity, and when things are opaque, you know that voiceless, especially farmers, cannot possibly benefit. The opacity is the screen to protect the powerful. Not you know that voiceless, especially farmers, cannot possibly benefit. The opacity is the screen. The international treaty as well as domestic laws have not actually paid attention to the fact that much of the biopiracy is happening through digital sequencing. The fact that there's no provision at all, whereas breeding technologies have evolved to a stage where they are not even looking to access physical resources, but they are able to develop new varieties based on genomic sequence information, and that there's no provision thought about for ensuring that that information is also transparent, that information is also part of a legally binding framework, that it also includes benefit sharing and so on. That's been a major lacuna, and it has legitimized biopiracy through a more powerful second route.
And that leads to genome editing rice and other crops.
Various kinds of gene technologies. Today it's gene editing, tomorrow it could be synthetic seeds, but it is essentially a tool, uh, the lack of which in a binding treaty is legitimizing biopiracy at a very large scale.
India has vast number of crop varieties and deshi hilding varieties, salt tolerant varieties. These have already been documented in government sites also. And even the farmers have these varieties. So why, despite all these varieties, why they want to promote this gene edited rice and digital sequences? What do you think?
It's very clear that uh, the push for particular gene technologies, the kind of legal frameworks at the international and national level that big industry lobbies want, it's all to make sure that their markets are secure. It's to make sure that farmers don't have any space for protecting their a priori rights, and also to even resist. Part of the opacity is to ensure that nobody even fights back. Because when you have no information of what is happening, when you don't understand DSI, what will you fight against?
So farmers' right, they are saying, do you think is it really farmers' right?
No, like I said, I don't think we should look for farmers' rights in the ITPGR FA or even in domestic laws. I think as long as farmers' rights related legislations don't have actual statutory teeth, they won't be farmers' rights.
Thank you very much.